Good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to today's ESA webinar, Smart Home Meets Smart Security, sponsored and delivered by Clare Controls. In today's session, we're going to talk through Clare Controls' smart home and security platform, which is helping to enhance safety, conserve energy, and integrate entertainment all in one app. Clare's open, complete ecosystem integrates with hundreds of devices and provides installers with mobile tools and systems to decrease truck rolls, maximize profits, and provide a scalable solution to your customers. We're going to dive into the content and into the nitty-gritty of this platform in just a moment. But first, I have a few notes for you. All callers will be muted for the duration of our webinar today. At any time, please feel free to ask a question by clicking into the question section of your control panel. We will be fielding questions to our presenters throughout the webinar. We want to make this a collaborative and educational experience for you. So at any time throughout the webinar, please submit your questions. We will also be recording today's webinar. You will receive an email tomorrow thanking you for your attendance that contains a link to the recording so that you can watch this webinar on demand and share with other employees or industry peers. We at ESA realize your time is valuable and we appreciate you taking the time with us this afternoon. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you today's experts. Brett Price leads the vision of Clare Controls. He is also founder of the award-winning Tempest Pro Services, the largest integrator of home audio-video systems on the west coast of Florida. Brett holds master's degrees in business and electrical engineering from Cornell University and was the youngest consultant ever hired by Touche Ross Management in Detroit, Michigan. He co-founded Cheetah Technologies, a developer and manufacturer of large-scale telecommunications test and measurement systems. As president of Clare, Brett grew the company to over $60 million in annual sales with 365 employees and system deployments in over 30 countries. Jerry Bolda has been a key player with the Clare Controls team for nearly 10 years. He comes with an extensive networking background with previous experience at Teltronics and Vertical Communications. His current role at Clare is Senior Sales Engineer, where he specializes in pre- and post-sales, sales support, and all aspects of home automation. Jerry has played a major role in the success of Clare. Jason Coleman is the VP of Business Development with Clare Controls, focusing on builder and security sales. He comes with 24 years of AV experience, ranging from retail to custom. His previous experience includes Ultimate Electronics, AVAD, and the Powerhouse Group of distributors. His primary focus is to increase Clare's presence in the security market and grow the builder footprint using Clare. During his 2 years with the company, he has added numerous regional and national builders to their portfolio, all using Clare Controls Base as standard in their homes. Gentlemen, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you very much for the introduction. This is Brett Price, and as was mentioned, I've spent almost 17 years in the custom integration side of the business. So I will admit I come to this with that perspective, and I do very much understand the pains and problems of being on the integrator side or the security dealer side of the business. So a lot of what we do here is born by that. We'll take you through this quickly. We're going to take you through a little bit of who we are and our history. We'll discuss briefly our partnership with SnapAV. You can see the SnapAV logo in the lower right corner of each of these screens. We'll go through a little bit of the introduction to the security market, some of the economics of security. For those of you that are security dealers, I don't mean to trivialize the business, but we kept it very brief for many of the people on the phone are coming from the AV background. We'll then get into the Clare platform, and then we'll talk through Clare programs, and then recapping questions. So without further ado, the question is, what is our platform? Our platform is a platform that brings together smart home systems and professionally monitored security and focuses on becoming a cost-effective platform to do that. Many of the, we're very familiar with, and I was a Crestron dealer for 17 years, so I'm very familiar with full automation systems, the Control4 platform, and so on. Also familiar with the security platforms, which we'll discuss in a moment, and some of the limitations that are related to those platforms. So what we seek to do is kind of bring cost-effective automation to the security space. A little bit of our background: we started really in the luxury automation market. We primarily were focused on custom automation. That was our background, of course. We were the guys that came to market with a automation system that runs on a Mac and managed from the cloud. Our controllers were $3,500 in those days. Today, we really are focused on the broader market. When we target home builders, they're homes between $250,000 and $500,000 to $600,000. Systems range from the hundreds of dollars to $2,000 to $3,000 typically. Primarily wireless, and we focus on an affordable smart home with security as a center of the strategy. We'll take you to where we're going a little later in the presentation, but we've got an exciting new product coming out later this year called the Clare One panel, which brings it all together. We dub it internally the all-in-one, but it brings the tablet, the security feature, the security hub, and the automation hub together in a single platform. So we'll walk through that in more detail in a moment.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
I just want to stop you really quick. Jillian, I'm seeing a lot of comments, people saying they can't see the presentation. Is there something specifically they need to do?
Yes, I'm responding to each one individually. If you're having issues seeing the slides, please ensure that you have both screens open and that you've downloaded the platform and are not viewing from browser. So I'll follow up directly with all of them, but most people can see your slides.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jason. So first, we have a very important relationship with SnapAV. We started it at the beginning of this year. SnapAV is basically the partnership combines our R&D and innovation, which is what we're essentially known for, with SnapAV's world-class customer service and e-commerce convenience. So SnapAV is our exclusive distributor. We work on not only our logistics with SnapAV, but they're heavily involved with our R&D roadmap and our strategy and planning. For example, bringing Oversee into all of our products is part of that planning session. So we're super excited to be a part of the SnapAV family. So where do we fit in the market? When you start looking at the market, there's a variety of products out in the market. You start with the do-it-yourself products, or really kind of point solutions, the stuff we compete with every day. And at many of you are obviously familiar with these, is Alarm.com, the Honeywell platform, Interlogix. These are the security-centric platforms that provide interactive services. Alula is in this group as well. Then you have on the other end the world that I came from, which was full home automation, which is your Control4, Savants, and Crestrons of the world, which really are not recurring monthly revenue based. So what we did, and in talking to dealers, this is the feedback we get from the dealers when we expose this platform to them, is there's a really large gap right here in the center where people want to bring recurring monthly revenue to the portfolio. They're feeling restricted by the integration platforms of Alarm.com, Interlogix, Honeywell, and others, and really don't believe they can, are not interested or cannot sell several $1,000 system into a home that's $350,000. So what we're really doing is we're sliding right in the middle. We want to bring recurring monthly revenue to the dealer. We want to be very cost effective. We want to provide you with the programs that are necessary to get this into, say, new home construction, reduce your origination costs. So this is the world we sit in. We try to bring a lot more integration, a lot more horsepower than is available today without the costs associated with the full-on platforms. So these are the obligatory market slides. So these are just data points. 80% of home buyers believe higher quality homes will come with smart home technology. The data and the evidence is essentially overwhelming in the home market, which we focus on quite a bit. In the new home market and in the resale market, there's an extraordinary, there's a lot of data that says that smart home features are an essential part of the home. And you're going to hear me talk about smarts in the home, and I don't necessarily mean that in an absence of security. But what is essentially selling and bringing people's attention to this category is the smart home feature. And what we do as a company, you'll see this is distinctly different from others in the market, is we tend to lead with the smart home and follow with security. And we do that in our marketing. We do that in the way we generate our fee structures. It's a very different approach to the market. When you look at what the consumers want, it's still security centric. Yes, they want convenience, but they also want family safety. They want video monitoring. We tend to call this the virtual presence of the home, whether it's video, knowing who's coming and going from the home, allowing people to gain access to the home. It's understanding the envelope of the home and the family safety. So as much as people talk about smart home, when they really reflect back on what that means to them, they're really talking about security features. And then, of course, companies like Ring have managed to do a good job of confusing the market to make people believe that a doorbell is a security product. So, what we want to do is we want to wrap the whole thing together with video, security, and convenience features and deliver that to the homeowner. So this is a slide geared towards the folks out there that are not necessarily in the security business, but these are the things that we focus on helping dealers with. And the economics of the security industry are really driven by three key performance indicators, KPIs. One is the origination cost, and that's the cost of acquiring a customer. From 17 years in the custom business, I would always focus on what products am I selling, what margins am I selling it at, what's the labor, am I going to hit the budget on labor, and things of that nature. What tends to drive the security industry is the cost of acquiring a customer, your monthly gross margin on your contracts, and of course your customer attrition from those contracts. The way that I phrase it to people is the CEDIA, the custom audio video business, is really a product sale business. The security business is really a service sale business. And the punchline to this is 17 years ago, I should have started a security company because I probably would have 8,000 contracts right now, and I would have a company worth 4 times what Tempus is worth today. So make no mistake about it, these contracts have a high value, and they can be sold, and they drive the equity value of your business much, much harder, much faster than product sales will drive it. I'm going to hand this off in a moment, but there's essentially four pieces to the platform: the mobile apps, our cloud, the dealer tools, and the in-home products and services, and such as the controllers and the panel. So we're going to walk you through each piece of the platform. Jerry Bolda is going to take it from here, and then we'll begin to talk about the upcoming products later this year, and then we'll wrap it up with how we go to market and how we can drive your revenue and your bottom line at the same time. Go ahead, Jerry.
Thanks, Brett. Hi, everyone. This is Jerry Bolda from Clare Controls. I want to take a look here. We just flipped over to our app, our main Clare Controls home automation app. What makes us different from a lot of the other apps that are similar in the market? We give the customer the freedom to do more customization than a lot of these other competitors do. What I mean by that, we have the customized icons that you can put here. We have smart icons. We allow our customers to go in, create their own pages, create automations, notifications, scenes. They can do all of this right at their fingertips, where it's much easier for them to get in and do their own things instead of having to call the dealer every step of the way. A lot of the apps that are out there today, you'd have to call up the dealer, if you wanted to schedule your lights to turn on at sunset and so on. We give the homeowner the power and the ability, the freedom to be able to go in and do these things themselves. On the next slide, I believe, is the video that we're going to take. I think it's 1.5 minutes or maybe 2 minutes.
Clare-Smart Home Technology and the Clare Home app. With just one tap of the Clare Home app, you can control your whole home. Turn on lights, adjust your thermostat, close the garage, arm the security system, even see who's at the front door. Pick your source, a favorite playlist, or maybe Pandora. Pick a room or rooms, and put your feet up and hit play. You can even use Amazon Alexa to control all of the devices installed in your home. Create your own schedules, and notifications can alert you if something's changed in your home, like your garage door is still open after sunset, or your security system has been disarmed. You can get access anywhere, anytime. You can create one-touch scenes. You can lock your doors, close the garage, arm your security system, adjust the thermostat, and turn on your front light, all with a single touch. Personalize your dashboard any way you like. Mom, Dad, and the kids can each create their own screens. You can even group things, like everything upstairs, or the kids' room, or all the cameras around your home. Clare works with all the top brands and more, so your system is incredibly flexible. Clare and Clare Home, the easiest way to save energy, feel safer, be entertained, and worry less. Life is complicated. Your home should be simple. Clare and simple.
So this next slide here, we really take pride in having one of the first systems that has everything that's in the cloud. So what this is we have a Clare Cloud overview. Different sections of the cloud, we've got Fusion Pro, which in Fusion Pro, that'll be coming out when we come out with our Clare One panel. This gives the ability to do customer administration, services provisioning, system management. In other words, you'll be able to get in and you will be able to not only check statuses and things of your customer systems, you'll be able to take care of the billing and other things as well. Next, we have ClareNet. ClareNet is the portion where we take care of our interactive services, alarm reporting. This is also where you can configure Verizon LTE as a cellular failover for your alarm systems. At the bottom, we have third-party system and device integration. What this means simply is we integrate with hundreds of different devices across the cloud, including Nest and other cloud-based systems like Honeywell Lyric. This portion of the cloud accesses those systems to be able to control all of those different types of thermostats and other devices through our app. We do take pride in having being able to have all these different devices and integrations under one app. A quick look at Fusion Pro. This is going to be the future of our programming. This does come out with our Clare One panel. It's going to be the ultimate dealer back end for smart home and security management, advanced analytics, and remote management. Just like I said on the previous slide, you'll be able to take all of these things right from wherever you're at. If you have an internet connection, or it'll also be mobile friendly. You can see there's a mobile device there as well. You'll be able to do all of your administration, monitor your customer base, check if things are online or offline. You can do firmware, software management, tunnel into individual devices, billing. You can see the bullet points there on the side. It's just going to be a consolidated page where you can do all of your system administration and billing. Onto our hardware. You can see here we've got our Click Mini Clare OS controller. This is our control that we use today. This is the hub or the main brain of the whole system. Everything that is included that we do, this hardware talks and communicates to everything that you're going to be doing in the home. This communicates with all of our different devices like thermostats, Z-Wave lighting, door lock, security system. When you go to program this, most of it can be done right through an app, which is available both on iOS and Android devices, so you do not have to bring around a laptop. Clare's entry-level smart home control hub is perfect for volume deployments. We use this when we work with volume builders and things where this is the hub that would go into every home. Z-Wave Plus certified, it controls hundreds of devices right out of the box. In other words, you don't need to do any type of updates. You don't have to add any types of different pieces of hardware to make this work. There's no other outside Z-Wave device or hardware that needs to be added on. Everything's built right into this hub. Supports Wi-Fi and Ethernet right out of the box, and it allows for third-party system takeovers. Next is our security panel, the wireless residential security panel. I think the most important things to know about this panel, other than how easy it is with its auto-discoverable with our Click Home controller, it can be used with wireless to wireless or hardwire takeover modules. What does that mean? You can take over existing security systems. You can completely rip out an old system. It doesn't matter what type it is. you can take those zones over, whether they're hardwired or if you're going to be taking over a wireless system. This would be the panel to do that. As you can see, you can take over GE, Honeywell 2 gig, and DSC security system sensors. This is available as part of our Clare Secure Kit. When you purchase the Clare Click Mini controller with the security panel, we do discount the two of them together. So this is a real house scenario. You can see using some of the security peripheral devices. They make a variety of different sensors. Now, these are all devices that communicate with the security panel itself, the different sensors. There we go. You can see anything ranging from just simple door window contacts to window sensors. They have wireless sirens, smoke detectors, all of these different items and peripheral devices, like I mentioned, these can be self-monitored, or you can go and all of these different devices can be monitored as well with central station monitoring. Supported products and services. Here you can see there is another huge variety of different directions you can go. The controller is completely scalable. You can start off very easy with a basic system where you have maybe just our click hub, a door lock, and a thermostat, or you can have a huge system that goes all the way up to having shades, entertainment, all types of Z-Wave devices, and we're compatible with all of those different devices with templates and drivers that we've got, like I said, ranging from entertainment all the way up to thermostats, voice control with Alexa, and so on. Of course, there's a lot of different brands out there, as everybody knows. We like to pride ourselves also on taking a lot of these brands and working with them. You can see at the bottom of that page, there's a lot of different brands. Autonomic, which is a Snap product, the Luma cameras, April Air thermostats, just to name a few. I know you guys are going to recognize a lot of the names on that list. So the purpose and the reason that we do this is so that you can use one app to control everything in the home. We don't want you to have to jump out and use your Sonos app or jump out to use your Nest thermostat app. We want you to be able to consolidate, use one app to control all of those different products.
Apparently this presentation really wants to be on this page. Sorry about all that.
That's okay, no problem. So this is our full featured voice control. We currently work with the Amazon Alexa, which works really, really well. You just download the skill and off you go. It'll find all of your lighting, thermostats, locks, and one-touch scenes. You can also use security, which we just pushed an update out last week for that. And then coming soon is the Google Assistant. That'll be out here really, really soon. I know that they're working on that as we speak. So the Google will be out this year. On our cameras section here, we've got lots and lots of different cameras. We're not going to go through every single one of the cameras. This is just a sampling of our video product line. We have a full line of cameras, domes, turrets, the Clare video doorbell. We have NVRs for recording appliances. We'll be doing probably another full webinar that focuses on these cameras and NVRs because we have quite a bit to cover. So I don't want to take up a lot of the time going through every single one of the cameras. But there is pretty much a camera for everyone and everything out there, including NVRs. So we won't go through each and every one, but be on the lookout for our next webinar that we'll have for our CCTV.
All right, thanks, Jerry. This is Brett again. I'm going to walk you through something we have been working on for well over a year. This is a panel we're pretty proud of. We're calling this our Clare One panel. This is essentially a 7-inch screen with our automation software and the wireless security feature in one chassis that is 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's quite small and quite. It was quite an engineering feat to get this done. I'll go through it briefly in terms of specs. I'm sure there'll be questions, but it's essentially got a 5-megapixel frontal camera for anytime anybody disarms or arms, or if a end user changes a setting, it takes a photograph and records it. That was actually requested by some dealers because consumers change settings and then deny it. It's Verizon LTE Cat 1, Wi-Fi, dual band, Bluetooth LE, 433 megahertz encrypted with a 150 meter open air range, Z-Wave plus S2. So it's quite a compact product. Physically, there is a micro USB port. It can be wall mounted or tabletop. Both stands come in the kit. There's contact closure on board for external sirens and strobes. There is an optional Ethernet adapter via the USB-C port, which is in it as well. There's a SD card slot, and it is powered it will accept power from 5 to 12 volts. The power supply that ships with it is 12 volts, but we understand the difficulties of being a dealer. When you're running a 100-foot wire and the only thing you got to run it over is Cat 5, you're not going to have 12 volts at the other end. So it will accept any power from 5 to 12 volts. The software that's on board is the full-on Clare Home automation software that was been described. The security software, we use Contact ID via ClareNet. It is going to be oversea enabled for the Snap AV folks out there, and it has an Amazon Alexa hub built in, so you can walk up to this panel and use it as a hub, an Alexa hub. As I said, it's wall or tabletop mounted, and the bottom bezel will be removable, and we will be putting those blanks into silkscreen shops, so that you can call up one of these shops and order a bezel with your logo on it or any graphic you want on it and make it private to your company. It is UL certified, UL 1023, 985, 1635, and CPL 01. It does have two-way voice on board. My computer's acting up. I apologize to everybody. The communications paths for interactive services and alarm reporting are Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and LTE. If you have both the ISP connected and the LTE, it will use the ISP primary and fail over to LTE. It has an intelligent chime on board where you can configure it, whether it's a door open or a scene has been run or any number of things. The chime will make different tones. If it's scheduled, you schedule the thermostats to be changed at 7 p.m., you can program it to make a tone at that time to let the user know, the homeowner know that the tone has been, the scene has been run. There's also built in with the Alexa feature is a intelligent sound detection. We will not, in version 1, we will not release that. It will be on board. We'll do a future software update that will enable it for glass break and T3, T4 detection. As you know, as I mentioned early on, we're a very close partner of Snap AV's. We are as to use their phrase, the center plate of their security play into the market. And as I'm sure you'd have to be in a cave if you didn't know that they purchased Control4 recently. So we are working reasonably aggressively with Snap and C4 to bring together a strategy that is cohesive. As many of the large integrating security contractors or Control4 dealers, it would be we would be remiss if we did not do that. So what our strategy is, you can deliver a wireless security and smart home service to a broad customer base. That homeowner that the home builder you may be working with that is building $350,000 houses. That's a pretty tough sale for a Control4 system. But you may have a step-up home, and you may have somebody who's an enthusiast. So we are building drivers for this platform that will auto-discover into a Control4 controller and pass through all of its control features and interfaces so that you can unify the user interface essentially on the C4 platform. So you will have a seamless strategy from more modest homes to the luxury market and everything in the middle. And so we'll be working aggressively with Snap AV to make this unification come true. I won't spend a lot of time on this because we want to get to the programs that we have for you guys for the dealer base. But we have a number of ways that our systems get deployed today with the products we have today. We have the basic controller, which is option 1. If they just want to implement a smart home, there's no recurring monthly revenue. They're going to keep their plain old keypad. There's a security panel takeover where we provide the interactive service for the security panel. There's a little RMR related to that. That's essentially integrating to a Concord 4, an ELK panel. We integrate to nearly all of the major security panels for interactive services purposes. We can then step into sensor takeover with the security hub, whether they're wired or wireless. We can then step into recurring monthly revenue, or you can just tear the system out and implement a complete security system from Clare. So it can start from the very simple smart home, take over existing hardwired panels from Interlogix, Honeywell, DSC, Elk. You could take the sensors over, whether they're wired or wireless, or just ground up Clare. So we're going to get into some of the differences in our business model that I think are pretty relevant. And as Jason chimes in here at the end and explains how we go to market with new home builders, it is extremely relevant. So nearly all the interactive service providers that are in existence today require alarm monitoring services as a baseline to which you can add interactive smart home services. We started the presentation today by talking about the drive that's in the market, and the appeal people have to these products and services is really driven from the smart home side. The security side, while it's ultimately important to us and to our businesses and to many homeowners, it's not necessarily what is attracting people to the category today. It's the smart home. It's the buzz today. So we think this is backwards. So what we did is we said, let's do this differently. Let's start with an interactive home model to which you can add alarm monitoring services. So you can lead with interactive smart home as a baseline and add alarm monitoring services. Since we work a lot with home builders, and Jason will explain how we do that in a moment, what are really trying to do is we're trying to get home builders to put the entire system in as part of the base house to massively reduce your origination costs. Home builders do not want monthly fees for their homeowners of a product they put in base standard. No home builder wants to do that. So what we start with in our interactive services is that you can install a smart home service with the security panel, not activated, but you can activate all lights, locks, thermostats, music, shades, etc. And there's no interactive fee for you. It's only when you add the alarm monitoring services or LTE services that the pass-throughs become are relevant. Jason, and when we get into this in a couple more slides, Jason's going to show you precisely how we use this with home builders to get them to buy the security panels and services products and make it part of the base home. So you've got a captive customer, and the builder has paid you, and you've made a profit on the installation of the panel. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Jason.
Thank you, Brett. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to dive into our builder program a little bit. And, this first slide just talks about some of the benefits of the program. A big portion of that is getting the builder to put it in base standard. Brett, go to the next slide. So you're talking about smart home, and it's absolutely a buzzword. I mean, companies that used to be primarily security, Vivint is now Vivint Smart Home, ADT Smart Home. You go into Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere, you're on Amazon, and it's constantly talking about smart home. If any of you guys saw the Amazon Prime Day, it was loaded with smart home devices. And of course, with the slide earlier, the BDX research slide that Brett had mentioned, BDX is a research firm that the nation's largest builders buy into, and all they do is they talk to homeowners and find out what adds value to a house. And like mentioned earlier, 80% of homeowners feel that new homes should include smart home technology. So some of the national builders, Lennar was one of the first big ones to launch base home standard smart home across thousands of homes. D.R. Horton did about 18 months ago. Across 50,000 homes come with the base home standard. And in talking to builders, they're all interested in this, but they really don't know how to solve this problem. So one of the big things is the system complex. What does it take to put this in? Builders have to warranty everything that goes into the house. And unlike a hardwood floor, if there's an issue that can be fixed, technology tends to be scary for them because it can be an ongoing issue. How do the devices work together? If I use smart home in my house, do I have to change all my locks? I have an agreement with Kwikset. I can't use Yale, or vice versa. Do I need multiple device apps? That's the number one headache for homeowners is everybody likes smart home. Everybody hates having 5 or 6 different apps to control it. The next is our monthly fees. And Brett, you touched on this. This is a big one. I've yet to sit down with a builder that wants to tell their homeowner, hey, I just built you this $300,000 house. By the way, you got to spend $30 a month if you want to use all the features. DIY, we know the industry is kind of heading that way, and we offer the capability for the customers with a limited amount of DIY to add devices to the system. Is it scalable? If the homeowner has a thermostat and a door lock, can we add more to it? Can we expand off of it? And then, of course, how do I sell it? That's a big thing because every dollar that goes into a house has to build value. If it doesn't build value, it just raises cost, and no builder's looking to raise cost. So once they pick a system, how do they implement a system? How do you support the homeowners? How do you support the dealers installing it? How do I train my staff? What options should I offer? A lot of these questions get so complicated that most builders decide to just avoid it or pick 1 or 2 options. They go buy a Nest thermostat or they go buy a door lock and kind of go that route. Where we really aim to fix a lot of these issues. Go ahead, Brett, the next one. So number one is with Clare, the goal is to drive builder sales through consumer demand of smart home. And that being is it's got to be base standard. It's got to go into the home standard. So Clare controls will be installed base standard into thousands of homes this year across over 100 builders, ranging from guys that build 1 home to guys that build thousands of homes. And what's key about this is when a base system goes in, it not only builds value in the house, but it's easier then for the dealer to come in and sell upgrades based off of that. A typical base standard package on most of our builders is a controller, a security panel, a video doorbell, some contact window sensors, and then we're integrating into the Honeywell thermostat or Nest or Lyric or Ecobee or whatever they're using in there. We're integrating into that thermostat. Garage door control, similar. On top of that is where we come to the support side and we do customized marketing support. So one is we create customized brochures. They're customized for the actual builder. It features their exact home that's being built. It has the builder's logo. It has our dealer's logo on it. It talks about what comes with the house. And then it goes right into, here's what's base, here's upgrades you can offer. And we found that doing 4 simple upgrade packages, whether it's an enhanced security package or it's a home away package that adds a camera system or it's an audio package that adds Sonos, it makes it very easy to sell upgrades through that process. Next is we do training with the builder and the salespeople. So when a builder launches with us, we come in, we train all the salespeople, we do one-on-one meetings, we go up to the models and train the salespeople, we make sure we meet with the design staff. And the goal is not to train them how to sell technology. The goal is to how to talk about smart home and how cool smart home is in a quick 30-second presentation. That way, every one of my dealers, when they sit down with a customer, it's never a cold customer. They know they're getting smart home. They're excited about it. They want to add more options. Next, and this is one of the big things, and the reason that a lot of builders have used us is we offer free lifetime tech support to the end user. We, of course, support our dealers, but we actually have an entire team in Sarasota, Florida that answer phones all day for dealers and customers. We field about 1,800 calls a month. About 900 of those are from customers, and we offer live support. And you guys know that a system doesn't, if there's a problem with a Sonos, it doesn't happen on Monday at 1 o'clock. It's Friday at 7 o'clock during a party. These customers can call us. It's live tech support, so we actually dial into the system, and we solve 90% of tech issues without a truck ever being rolled. And this is huge. This is something that tends to stick with builders because they want to make sure that the customer experience is fantastic. And the last thing they want to do is field those phone calls. So regardless of who put the system in, if it's a Clare product, we're supporting that 100%. There's some examples at the bottom there, some of the builders we're working with or have worked with. Like I said, we've got builders that I've got custom guys that build $1 million plus homes and do 2 or 3 a year. And I've got builders that build thousands of homes that are, less than $300,000. So we kind of cover the whole gambit. You go next, Brett.
And so essentially from a dealer value perspective, we've explained the builder value. What we really did is we worked with builders to understand how do you market and position the product with a builder so that it'll pull the product in. And what we're really trying to do for the dealer is get the security feature and as much of the hardware that you need to sell a security contract put into the home, embedded as part of the base home, so your origination costs are wiped out and you're making a profit on it. And we've been very successful doing it. You can compare that
typically
to
on the security side. On the security side, it's very, typical to give away a security system where you're at a year or even a 2-year break-even point. And we like to avoid that whenever possible. I never want to go into a builder and have you at a net loss point putting a security system in. So when we do these programs, we really want to partner with our dealers. So number one, under the builder program, there's a no minimum upsell. So we don't require a minimum amount of security activations from you to be in the program. Also, along with the fees, we don't do a 3-year no fee program. And then at the end of 3 years, the customer's got to start paying fees. I'll share with you a large security dealer that I spoke to that is running a builder program with one of our competitors, and they're going to start coming up to the 3-year mark. And the alarm provider is not shutting off these homes. They're just automatically rolling them over to billing the security dealer, which means they have to reach out to these customers and say, hey, if you want to keep using your system, you got to start paying for it. We never want to put you in that situation. So smart services and remote access are free for life. Next, Brett. We just want to share this. This is an article that's going to be coming out next month. I think it's like a 4 or 5 page full color article in residential tech systems, talking about one of our partner builders. This is MI Homes, and they're doing about half their divisions with us, about 3,000 homes base standard that are all getting a Clare smart home system, a secure system. I don't want to go too much into detail because this hasn't been released yet, but this will be a full print article that'll be available on the newsstand and I'm sure through digital release. But this has been pretty powerful. And in this article, the builder speaks directly about the how happy they were, the customer improvement in overall value, what they perceived in the house value, and the fact that they went from an integrator that was offering just security to more of a smart home option, and they've seen an overall increase in sales from it. So there's a lot of good talking points in this piece overall. So really, the goal with this for a builder is differentiate the product. For a dealer, it helps them drive revenue. It gives you guaranteed revenue through base standard systems and constant lead generation. You've got homeowners that you meet with consistently. You've got upgrade sales. You've got security sales. It's a simple and easy to use, quick setup, and just a quick way to increase your overall profits. That's all I got.
All right, everyone, if you have some questions, you can go ahead and log those into the control panel there, for those of you who can see them. I do have a few that have come through. I know one was answered by one of our panelists, but I'll just pose it out here to the group for those of you who missed it. Will the system have the ability to work with a variety of third-party cameras?
So the answer is yes, with an asterisk at the end of it. It's ONVIF compliant, so any ONVIF camera will connect to the system. However, and then because that's a standard that we can lean on. However, it'll be the Snap Baby Luma cameras, our cameras, that we will collect events from and do event processing. So, for example, if it sees motion, turn on the light, that kind of thing. So, yes, it'll support third-party cameras from a video presentation perspective, but event management and automation will be specific to the Snap Baby and Clare product line.
Yeah, I mean, our product is set up to auto-discover Clare cameras, but a number of third-party cameras get auto-discovered automatically. I've done jobs where, it's a high vision camera being used. We put our controller in, and a couple seconds later, there comes a live feed from that camera. So, like Brett mentioned, we actually pull a live feed from a large number of cameras, but events management is a little bit smaller of a list.
We've got another question here. When will the integration with Control4 be complete?
That's going to release with the panel. I'm not muted. That's going to release with the panel, and the panel is scheduled to release at the end of the year. So it will release V1.0 with the panel.
Beautiful. Another question here. Does the takeover piece handle hardwired low voltage smoke detectors?
Yes.
And with the builder program, is Clare in any way helping dealers meet with builders, or are the integrators bringing builder partners to Clare, or is it a mix of both?
It's kind of a mix of both. Number one is if a dealer brings us to a builder, we can handle that meeting. We have a lot of support and material going into those. So a lot of times, if they bring us in, we kind of close the sale for them. And 9 out of 10 times when we sit down with a builder, they're pretty blown away by it and say, yeah, this is pretty cool. We want to do something with it. At the same time, I'll tell you that our builder demand is really at a point kind of outpaced our dealer demand. So there's a couple of states I'm working in right now, and my sales guys are working in, where we have builder opportunities where we're still onboarding dealers. Now the Snap partnership has improved that, where we have more of a dealer base to pull to, but it is definitely a two-way street. We have builders that we help partner with dealers, and the same in return. I have a lot of dealers bringing builders to us.
We have a few more questions here, and everyone, if you have any last questions, please absolutely type those in here and we'll get them answered. Will the system be smartwatch or Android capable? Any news about working with Legrand Nouveau audio systems?
So the smartwatch, so there was two questions. Will it be smartwatch capable? Events, of course, push notifications, of course, show up on the watch. We do not currently have on the roadmap a watch application, either for for Apple or Android. The Nouveau audio product is, while it's not on the roadmap today, I should comment that the way we do integration work is we release one integration list every quarter. And so there is a submittal that you use. You submit a request for, say, the Nouveau audio product, and then we basically look across the request list, and we move in the direction that the dealers tell us to move. So we released, in Q2, I think we released drivers for 4 or 5 products. We'll release about 2 to 3 in Q3. That's how it works. You submit, you vote with your voice and with the submittal, and that's how you get it done. And we don't charge for integration.
Great. How would a dealer go about getting started? Are there demo kits or discounts available for new dealers of products?
Yes. So if you're a Snap dealer today, then you don't need to apply to be a Snap dealer. So first off, you have to be a Snap AV dealer. To purchase a system, there is a dealer application for Clare controls. There are first-time buy discounts for Snap AV in general and Clare specifically. There is literally a dealer demo kit, DDK, in the Snap store today that you can buy, that we put together a variety of products that is a good learning experience or first job experience or your showroom, whichever you want to use it for. But it's in the Snap store today. There is, and after what does happen is after you become a dealer, then you get assigned an onboarding specialist by Clare Controls. You will hear from our inside sales team, and they will walk you through any and all questions regarding programs and products and services and things of that nature. So you will get a lot of attention. And the learning is, all of the e-learning is in the Snap University. So you just go to the Snap University, go to the Clare Control section, and there's a dozen to 14 classes up there today to go from very beginning to bringing a system live.
Okay, we've got just a comment, not so much as a question here from Nick, but just want to thank Clare Controls for changing my business from an electrical contracting firm to an all-in-one, one-stop shop for electrical, home automation, and alarm systems. That was nice. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Another question here. Is there a more specific date for the Google integration?
Yeah, it will be, I'm going to say this and I'll regret it. It should be before the end of the month of August. They're working on it. They're working on it now, and we're adding the security skill. They don't call them skills in Google, but the security skill to the release right now, and then it'll be pushed out. Incidentally, those of you that don't really know us, you don't do anything when these features are released. So for example, we're going to release Google Assistant. Our update systems are all automated. So we'll push that out to all the thousands of controllers that are out there. we typically will put a what's called an info stream message, which is an in-app message to the homeowner. We will, of course, announce all of this to the dealers in advance. And so the homeowner will receive a message that says, hey, there's a new feature. This one where we say Google Assistant, gives them a brief description on how to actually activate the Google Assistant. Maybe we have a video link or something like that to walk them through that. And then if they have any questions, they can, of course, call our help desk. So, but our updates are free, and they generally happen about once a quarter.
Okay, how is the device communicating to a monitoring station? Is it IP, cell receiver line, etc., or will it only communicate through a direct integration with the monitoring center?
No, it comes through us. So it's IP, it's either through the ISP, IP, or over the LTE radio. And, but that ends up coming back through our cloud services, and then we kind of vector that off to the call center. So it's not we're not connecting it direct to the call center.
And is the system capable of doing self-monitoring for security?
It is. All the user needs to do is set up a push notification in the apps when an alarm event goes off, and they'll receive a push notification or a text message or an email.
Yeah, currently it does actually self-monitor free of charge and with remote access. So remotely you can see the system, you can arm and disarm it and get notifications if there's an intrusion event.
And I will, we're a small company, so we can be flexible about these things. I will tell you, we've had many dealers ask us to, and we are considering creating a tiered service where the basic interactive services for everything except security will be free, and there'll be a very modest charge for remote access to the security system for self-monitoring, so we could kind of loop them into your vortex of getting used to paying you monthly for some level of service. So we're considering doing that. We're talking to the dealers, and of course there's the fees for the alarm reporting.
Do you have any plans to integrate with Total Control by URC at this point?
Total Control, no, we already integrate to Complete Control. So we integrate with the MX series of remotes through a gateway that we have called the EBR 500. So those are their RF remotes. We don't have a plan today to integrate to the Total Control platform. We're going to be pretty busy with C4.
We've got another integration question here. Will Clare integrate with Lutron Cassetta lighting and shades?
That is very light, because it's also the Select platform.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Cassetta, Serena, Select. So the answer is yes. We just don't have a schedule for it. We'll be focused on the panel, and that's a little bit larger integration. So we'll be focused on the panel and the C4 integration and some of the smaller drivers that we're building through the end of the year. And I'm sure we'll do the Cassetta, Serena, Select product in early 2020.
We do Lutron Radio Raw currently though, and there's shade lines, just not the Cassetta line.
Yeah, we do Radio Raw, Homeworks, and QS, shades and lighting.
Great. We've got a few more questions here, and we've got about 6 minutes. So if you do have any last minute questions, please enter them in your control panel now. We've got a clarification question here. To make sure I understand your role, you guys are kind of like an alarm.com with more features and integrations, and then we add our central monitoring stations. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah.
So let me be specific. Yes, we're an alarm.com on turbocharged, if you will. And yes, you can pick your alarm monitoring station. We do not do alarm. We are not an alarm center. We pass off to 82 different centers are connected to our platform.
But we do provide unlike alarm.com, we're not a tiered program. So once the system's activated, you're paying for alarm monitoring and LTE backup. But if you add, smart services, you add cameras, you add access control, there's no increased monthly fee. We just have a flat rate fee, and it tends to be typically quite a bit lower.
Yeah, our monthly services sheet is substantially shorter than alarm.com's.
We've got a few folks here with their thumbs up about the self-monitoring thing. It says self-monitoring thing is very cool. We've got another question here. Does the system meet UL standards?
Yes, it's 1023-985 and 1635 and CPL 01. And the alarm and the sensors are also, I don't want to rattle off all the numbers, but the sensors that have UL specifications are also certified.
Great. We've got a question about fees being passed on to dealers. Are there currently monthly service charges that are passed on to dealers for the alarm forwarding?
Yes, that's the pass-through fees. So the fee structure is free for interactive services. If we're passing alarms through for the for your alarm center, there's a fee for that. And if you're using LTE either as primary or failover, there's a second fee for that. So that's basically the fee structure. And you can contact us. You can contact us at Clare Controls, and we can walk you through all the details. It's a pretty short discussion.
Looks like we've got someone asking about commercial alarm installation. So is the platform UL listed for commercial installations as well?
Well, and there's not a separate commercial specification for light commercial, but the three UL certifications that are on the panel are the three I mentioned: 1635, 1023, and 985.
Great. Question here about the Clare audio switcher. Are you planning on keeping this?
We just released a driver for the autonomic platform, so we're going to defer to the autonomic platform. And if you want to use HEOS and Sonos, you can also use those. But in terms of a kind of a custom AV install pro install type product, we're going to defer to the autonomic program, autonomic product. Sorry. Still have the amplifiers though. They're pretty cool.
We've got about 2 minutes remaining, so if you'd like to go ahead and ask any final questions, just getting down to the last of them here. What about an integration with Atmos Controls touchscreens or Brilliant Control? Is that something that it currently integrates with or you're planning on?
I don't even know, to be frank, if Brilliant has so part of our challenge with what I'll call more retail-oriented products is many of them were not designed to be integrated, and so there's no APIs. So I don't even know if there is an API with Brilliant, and I didn't hear the name of the first one. But so the short answer is no, there's no plan, and the long answer is I'm not even sure they built the product to be integrated. I don't know the answer to that. And again, it really just depends on dealer demand. We follow, our nose follows the dealer's lead. If what you need to sell the product and gain traction in the market is, for example, Caseta, then we do Caseta. So it's, and it may overlap with products we build. We don't really, we're sort of turned a blind eye to that, and we integrate what the market demands.
Sure. We've got a question here about programming. Is the platform user dealer programmable?
Yes. Although the programming has gotten simpler over the years, but yes, it's all done through Fusion. Our newer platform is called Fusion Pro. The Fusion's been in existence for 8 years. So there's anything you can do on the panel or the local interface, you can do in the cloud interface in Fusion. So that's sort of a rule of thumb with us. If the user can change a configuration in the panel, you can change it in the cloud, and that's just the way it works with us. That's our cloud also does backup and restore, and you want to do a rollback. Somebody made a change to the system and they put a schedule in, and I swear they didn't put the schedule in because that's what consumers do. You can click on a prior version of the configuration of the panel, do a deploy, and you can roll them back. So these are all the things that we do because I've been there and I wear all the same scars you wear from being a dealer.
Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you all for your questions. I'd like to again thank Claire for their presentation. Thank you for your time. And as a reminder, a recording of this webinar will be available at esaweb.org/resources/webinars. And you will receive that link via email tomorrow. Thank you for participating, and on behalf of ESA, enjoy the rest of your day.